Hey, shalom, beloved. It's been a long time, yeah? And this actually gives me flashbacks of the good old days when I used to only make videos to you guys at night because it was the only time it was quiet in my family's house. Quiet of the night and all that. So now I have all kinds of quiet time. Well, sort of. I got roosters crowing in the background sometimes, but yeah. So this is neat. But yeah, I'm feeling better. And Baruch Hashem, and thank you for your prayers and for blessing me. Those of you who also have given, thank you so much. I'm not 100%, yes, obviously, because I still don't have all my voice, but much better. I don't have my fevers anymore. I was going back and forth. I have to tell you one funny story. What's funny to me now, anyways, was when when my worst night that I was sick, that I had chills and everything. I was so glad that I'd rented some movies before I got real sick, actually. And I had one more movie left to watch, and I stuck it in my DVD player, and it died. And then I turned on my little tiny heater to keep myself warm, because I had chills. You know how that is when you got a fever and you keep shaking, you can't stop. I was like, oh yes, at least I got this little heater. I mean, I have heat, don't get me wrong, but I was a little one that you can put right up next to you, and it just dies. So I was like, Abba, what am I doing wrong? Or it's like, he's got a sense of humor too. So, anyways, the other thing was that the heater randomly started working about 20 minutes later. So that was a funny thing about it. And who knows if the DVD player would have too, if I tried it again, but I didn't. It is an old one though. I don't do Netflix or anything like that. I got my little DVDs and DVD player. Voila. So yeah, it was kind of a funny thing when I thought about it though. It's like everything. No movie, no heater. This is sad. Of course, that's like talking like someone who's obviously very spoiled, because we are spoiled. When we have the comforts of just even a roof over our head, that's being spoiled. I was thinking about this just tonight, actually. When I was driving home tonight, I saw a homeless person, and I was like so thankful that tonight was a fairly decent night, it's not freezing tonight. But I was like, wow, just reminded again, like when I was in the sukkah, reminded of how thankful I am for the shelter, but how important it is to reach out to the homeless. And it's hard because I know that there's a lot of good people. There are good people who have come to be without homes. That could be me, that could be any of us, any of us. So I realize that the hard thing is that mixed in with the people who are kind-hearted and will be kind when you're kind to them, there are also those that it's been a rough life, and so they live rough, and they'll, I know there's stories of people getting hurt by people who were homeless, and so it's hard, you just have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Perceptive, I think that's the word I'm looking for, when you want to reach out to the people who are on the street. Yeah. But I am not talking about what I was going to share with you before my voice completely goes dead. I do have a little cup of tea here, though. Actually, it's not really tea. This is actually what I've been drinking and has helped me have some of my voice back. It's hot water with honey and I've been putting cinnamon, not sugar, not sugar, but just cinnamon in here. But actually, I didn't put cinnamon in this time. It's got nutmeg and Does it have cardamom in it? I'm trying to remember. What did I put in there? I don't know what all I put in there. It's all good stuff, I can tell you that. But, yeah, but it's like hot water mixed with honey and some spices that are good for you. Good stuff. It's very good. Oh yes. Okay, so if you have your Bible or technological device, go ahead and turn to Nehemiah or Nehemiah, as it is in Hebrew, Ivrit, which you should be learning, right? If you haven't already. I said that kind of intensely, which you should be learning. I'm gonna make myself cocky. Okay. That's funny. Sorry. I don't know if this happens to you, beloved, but when I get sick, I actually tend to be more slap happy, more silly. Well, sometimes. Oh, not the most miserable part when you got the achy fever stuff, but the other stuff. Just, I guess you're sick for a while and then you just start to lose it, you know. Okay, so Nehemiah, I keep saying, it's hard for me not to say the name in Hebrew. It's really cool in Hebrew, Nehemiah. You know what? I hope you can hear my voice because I just realized I might be covering up the mic on this laptop. I really don't know. So, chapter 8. I thought it was before that though. I'm sorry, not chapter 8. Chapter 6. I was reading ahead though earlier, so I had it in the wrong spot. I think it was. So, Nehemiah, chapter 6, capítulo 6. 6. We're having fun tonight. I'm having fun tonight. You might not even be watching this when it's nighttime, so I can't really say that for you. Whoever you are that happens to be watching this at nighttime, now you're going to be laughing if you're watching this at nighttime for sure. I'm laughing, so you should be laughing. Oh no. You should be. I don't know what's happening. It's also all the chicken problems I've been having, starting to say strange things. It's okay. The chickens are okay, but let me tell you, I've had some pretty strange chicken things happen around here. Okay. Well, I won't get into it. We're getting distracted. Oh my, it's already almost 8 minutes long. Well, okay. So, we'll start in verse 1. Ready? And we may have done a study on this before, but I came across it again, so bear with me if we've done this before. There's always something new to learn, so yeah. Now it happened when Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem the Arab, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had rebuilt the wall and that there were no breaks left in it, though at that time I had not hung the doors and the gates. I love that. So human. Very original. Because he's that detail, though at that time I had not hung the doors and the gates. It's like, I just love that. Maybe he was procrastinating. We shouldn't procrastinate, but I know I do it. I don't know, maybe not. No, I don't think he wasn't procrastinating, but gotta keep drinking because my voice is starting to go again. So yeah, though at the time I had not hung the doors and the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, "Come, let us meet together among the villages in the plain of Ono." And yes, that is a cricket inside my cabin. Oh my goodness. That's too funny. In the plain of Ono. And then there's a cricket. you know that that's bad news. Something bad's going to happen when it says, oh no. When the place is called, oh no. Right? And sure enough, confirmation, but they thought to do me harm. Yeah. It's kind of like when I read those packages on chili peppers and things like that, and it says, you know, I don't know, death killers or something, some name like that, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty much a good sign. You shouldn't eat it. And I read this is like the plate of oh no. Well, it says oh no, so we better not go there. Anyways, so I sent messengers to them saying, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you? Absolutely. God had given him this great work. He was confident that why would he listen to these guys? No, we should not listen. We should not be distracted, right? When our king gives us a task, be confident, right? Amen. But they sent me this message 4 times. Oy. And I answered them in the same manner. Good for you, Nehemiah. That's what we have to do too. So it wasn't 2 or 3 times, it was 4 times. And then Sanballat sent his servant to me as before, the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand. Wonder if open letter means somebody read it, like somebody was looking in your mail. In it was written, it is reported among the nations, and Geshem says that you and the Jews plan to rebel. Therefore, according to these rumors, you are rebuilding a wall that you may be their king, and you have also appointed prophets to proclaim concerning you at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, Yehudah. Now these matters will be reported to the king, so come, therefore, and let us consult together. Don't ever consult with the enemy. Don't do it. Doesn't matter. You think you're going to try and save the enemy? Well, sometimes God puts people in your paths to do that are living in spiritually in darkness, but God prepares their heart for that moment. At least we plant the seed. So here, this is pretty obvious something's wrong here. But definitely, we should always be praying for being able to see, to discern. The gift of discernment. It is a gift, really. I actually know leaders of congregations that don't have that gift, and I can't tell you how important that is. You have a flock of sheep, spiritually speaking, and you are leading them. It's like the blind leading the blind, as the phrase goes, because if you don't have the gift of discernment, how can you discern when someone comes in with a false testimony? I'll get to that in a second too. So then I sent to him saying, no such things as you say are being done, but you invent them in your own heart. I can't tell you either how many times I've experienced and my family had experienced. I saw people in my family experiences, someone coming up to them saying, God told me this, I have to tell you this, and it most definitely was not from God, beloved. I think I've shared this before. I can't stress it enough. Do I believe God speaks to us? Absolutely. He speaks to me, so I know he does. But if it contradicts the word of God, if it is not something, where the Spirit of God it's tested because of this, if you don't see that it has the authority of God, you don't hear, it's not from God, beloved. It's not from God. So don't listen. And have that discernment. Ask our King for the gift of discernment. Because clearly, Nehemiah, I love his heart, because clearly he had that. So he says, for they all were trying to make us afraid, saying their hands will be weakened in the work, and it will not be done. Discouragement, discouragement, discouragement. So get this, I love this about Nehemiah. He says, he prays. Beautiful, beautiful heart he has. Wow. Now therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. Listen, beloved, it's okay to acknowledge that you are weak. We are weak. Spiritually speaking, yes. I tell him that all the time because I need his help. If we can't be humble enough to realize that we are weak and we need him, we aren't going to get any help. So here he's, who knows? Maybe Nehemiah was a very strong person. I don't know, but he knows that he needs God on his side, and God is on his side. But it's like confirmation, or reaffirmation, if that's the right word. Afterward, he says, or after we read, I came to the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel, who was a secret informer. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God within the temple, and let us close the doors of the temple, for they are coming to kill you. Indeed, at night they will come to kill you. So that sounds good. We're going to the house of God. Protection there, right? Well, protection in God's house, but who were these people? Were these people acting on God's authority? No. No, they weren't. Need another sip. Sorry. I should make another one of these before I go to sleep. It's pretty good stuff. Are you guys still with me? Okay, good, because it's just about to get better. And I said, this is Nehemiah, should such a man as I flee? Yeah, God is with him. He knows that. So why should he be afraid? Why should he flee? God is on his side. He knows God's got his back. Hashem is with him. He is reaffirming that he is being confident in that. And who is there, such as I, who would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. Yeah, he knows. Here we go. Then I perceived that God had not sent him at all, perception, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. That kind of makes me think of the Western movies, because I watched, the old Westerns where they hire someone, a gunner, to get somebody. That's what that makes me think of. So, yeah, for this reason he was hired, that I should be afraid and act that way and sin. Because he would be sinning if his fear was no other than the fear of God. So if his fear of God, was gone, and now his fear of men took over, that's a sin, right? God forgive me, because I know I've been guilty of that. I pray about that because I don't ever want to be that way. Well, this is just beautiful because he's speaking this out too. That's the other awesome thing. Very powerful. He's speaking this out. So he says, that I should be afraid and act that way and sin, so that they might have cause for an evil report, that they might reproach me. I know we've been going for a while. I'm almost done here. My God, remember Tobiah and Sanballat according to these their works, and the prophetess Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets who would have made me afraid. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of Elul in 52 days. Wow. And it happened when all our enemies heard of it, and all the nations around us saw these things, that they were very disheartened in their own eyes, for they perceived that this work was done by our God. Amen. Wow. Baruch Hashem. So God was glorified because Nehemiah did his task of building a wall. That was my foot on the chair here. And listen, beloved, maybe you're doing something that seems really simple, but it's what God's given you, but it is great in the kingdom. Nehemiah, his walk, his faith here, that is what is great here. A testimony for us. Don't get discouraged, and take what God gives you to your heart with all your heart and run with it. Nothing is too small to be great in the kingdom of heaven. Nothing at all. He was building a wall. That's what he was doing. And he had lots of opportunities to stop, but did he? No. So let's finish up here. Also in those days, the nobles of Yehuda sent many letters to Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came to them, for many in Judah were pledged to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Ara, and his son Jehohanan had married the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. Also they reported his good deeds before me, and reported my words to him. Tobiah sent letters to frighten me. You know, if Nehemiah had changed his mind and he had decided not to finish the wall, I have no doubt that our king would have raised someone else up in his place. But Nehemiah would have left out on a he would have left out on a huge blessing. He would not have been able to do what basically God had made him for. Each of us have a destiny that God has made for us, molded us for. And it's not, nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. Nothing. So be encouraged and be blessed. And we are weak, but our King is so strong and he loves us. We can take from that strength and be filled with joy. Amen. Amen. Thank you for listening, beloved. I will end now because we're at 22 minutes and over. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bless you. And stay healthy. Stay warm. Shalom. Shalom. Love you guys.